Khloe Kardashian is determined to be with Scott Disick, even though Kourtney has moved on. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Khloe Kardashian has made it clear that she will always stand by Scott Disick no matter what. Even though Kourtney Kardashian has moved on with her life, Khloe still considers Scott to be a very important part of her own. Some people think that Khloe and Scott only act so close for the sake of their reality show, but those who really know them say their bond is very real and not something made up for cameras. According to someone who knows them well, they spend a lot of time together behind the scenes that people don't even know about, and this bond has stayed strong through the years, even if Kourtney isn't always comfortable with it. Scott and Khloe have known each other for a long time. Their connection started when Khloe was in her early 20s, and since then, Scott has always been a part of her life. She calls him family and says that's how it's always going to be. Scott treats Khloe like a sister and has always looked out for her. He's very protective and caring toward her, and that hasn't changed no matter what's going on around them. Over the years, Scott has been there for Khloe through some very hard moments in her life. He supported her when she went through a painful divorce with Lamar Odom. He was also by her side during the many difficult times caused by Tristan Thompson's cheating. Scott was always ready to help and comfort her during those dark times, and Khloe has never forgotten that. She appreciates how loyal he has been to her and sees him as someone who would never turn his back on her. Because of that, she feels the same way toward him. Even though Kourtney has moved on and is in a new relationship, Khloe doesn't see a reason to stop being close to Scott. Khloe has also made it clear that she isn't saying anything bad about Kourtney to Scott, and she's not revealing personal things about her sister. At least, that's what she says. However, Kourtney doesn't completely believe that and is uncomfortable with how close Khloe still is to Scott. One thing that really upset Kourtney was when Khloe picked Scott to be the first guest on her podcast instead of her. That choice alone says a lot about how close they still are. When people talk about her relationship with Scott, Khloe becomes very defensive and doesn't think she's doing anything wrong, even if Kourtney sees it differently. Kourtney and Scott were together for 9 years before they finally split up in 2015. They had a long history together and share 3 children, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. After the breakup, Kourtney eventually found love again with Travis Barker, the drummer for the band Blink-182. They were friends for a long time before they became a couple in early 2021. Their relationship moved quickly, and they got married in a quiet civil ceremony in Santa Barbara, California, on May 15, 2022. 1 week later, they had a big wedding celebration in Portofino, Italy, on May 22, 2022. Kourtney and Travis started a new chapter in their lives when they had their first child together. Their baby boy, Rocky 13, was born on November 1, 2023. This new beginning helped Kourtney move on from her past with Scott, but his continued close friendship with Khloe still seems to bother her. Khloe and Scott recently spoke about all the rumors that have followed them for years during the first episode of Khloe's podcast, Khloe in Wonderland, which aired on January 8. Many people have guessed that there is something more between them than just friendship, and those rumors have been around for a very long time. Even Scott's parents, who have now passed away, once asked him if the stories were true. Scott laughed about it, saying that his parents used to tease him by asking if he had gotten Khloe pregnant. He would joke and say yes just to mess with them, and they would play along with it. It was all part of their funny way of talking to each other. Khloe made sure to clear things up quickly. She told everyone listening that Scott never got her pregnant and that nothing like that ever happened between them. She wanted to be clear because she knows people sometimes take jokes seriously. Khloe then explained how much her fans really wanted to hear her and Scott have a real conversation on her podcast. She ran a poll asking who people wanted to hear as her first guest, and Scott was the most requested. She also shared that there were 2 questions she gets asked the most about her and Scott. The first is whether the two of them have ever been together in a romantic way. The second is why they aren't married if they are so close. When she asked Scott about those rumors during the podcast, he jokingly shouted, yes, to the idea that they had hooked up. But Khloe quickly shut him down, saying very clearly that they had not. She wanted everyone to know there was no truth to that kind of talk. Then Scott got serious for a moment and said that it's crazy how many people actually believe the rumors. He reminded everyone that he has children with Khloe's sister, and that alone makes the idea very strange to him. He admitted that he sometimes says things that sound inappropriate, but that's just part of his personality. He doesn't mean those things in a serious way. Khloe added that if they really were together, people would say terrible things about them. She said that if they had actually become a couple, it would have been seen as very wrong, and the public would have reacted harshly. All of this shows that even though their relationship is close and sometimes playful, it has never gone beyond friendship. They both understand that people like to talk and make assumptions, but they are firm about the fact that nothing romantic has ever happened between them. Despite what others may think or say, their bond is based on many years of shared experiences, trust, and loyalty. Khloe clearly values Scott's presence in her life. He has helped her through some of her hardest moments, and she won't turn her back on him just because Kourtney is no longer in a relationship with him. Khloe sees her friendship with Scott as something solid and important. She isn't going to let anyone, not even family, convince her to distance herself from someone who has always been there for her. Even with all the attention and whispers from the public, Khloe continues to stand by her decision. She believes that people misunderstand her relationship with Scott and that their connection doesn't need to change just because life has moved on. Scott, in return, shows Khloe the kind of loyalty and friendship that is hard to find. This deep trust between them is something they both cherish, even if it causes tension with others. As time goes on, it's likely that people will keep guessing and questioning what's really going on between Khloe and Scott. But from what both of them have said, their bond is one of pure friendship and nothing more. Their history, their support for each other, and their honest conversations show that what they share is built on years of being there for one another. They joke, they tease, and they talk openly, but they also respect each other and the boundaries that come with their unique relationship. Even though Kourtney may feel uneasy about how close they still are, Khloe doesn't see her friendship with Scott as something wrong. Instead, she sees it as one of the few stable and loyal relationships she has had through the ups and downs of her life. And while some may raise eyebrows, Khloe is standing her ground and continuing to stay true to someone who has always stood by her. In the end, their story is not about drama or hidden love. It's about two people who have gone through a lot and found a lasting friendship that has survived everything around them. Whether people believe it or not, Khloe and Scott are just very close friends, and they plan to keep it that way. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.